Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. Now, the setup today is totally different than what you're used to. I'm not sure how well, to be honest, this is going to work, but I have been itching to try eco dyeing again. My first attempt was a few years ago, and it wasn't entirely successful. However, this winter, I saw Caroline on the hillside do dyeing using essentially dead and dying foliage that she dug up from under the snow. So I thought, if that can work, and she got really good results, that why can't I do the same? Now I'm in the kitchen. I've got I think, okay, my camera is on a gooseneck holder that I've elevated, so I'm going to be having to drag stuff into view and out of view as I go along. I'll tell you what I have prepped so far. Number one, I found my gloves, yay. So off to the side here, whoops, I have this baking pan, and I'm not a baker, so I was quite happy to turn this into a crafting pan. So it's a 9 by 13 or whatever pan. It's sitting on some knit crocheted trivets. Oh, excuse me. I boiled the water thinking that was going to be a better, that would help get some of the, make the tea and coffee activate a little bit better. I'm going to throw in 4, I think, just, dollar store, maybe 6 tea bags. I also have some dollar store coffee. Oh, this isn't even open. I'll get another one. And just shake, well, let me slide this back into view. So hopefully this will, I don't really want to burn myself. I'm just going to sprinkle some coffee in here as well to help darken the liquid. Now, let me get a spoon, I guess. Ooh, that's pretty dark. Okay, so we'll let that sort of do its thing. Man, oh man, that's dark. Now I did boil another electric kettle's worth of water because, of course, when you add something to water, it displaces the liquid and brings it up. That's like a science term. I'm so impressed. So we'll see. I have hot water available if necessary. So why now? Well, I got 2 beautiful bouquets of flowers for Mother's Day. And as happens with fresh flowers, eventually they begin to die. So I thought, well, perfect time to take advantage of that, because there isn't really anything much growing in the yard at this point. Plus, flowers. So these are so basically what I did, well, you can't see that. What I did a couple of days ago was, maybe if no, let's not do that. So I put into a separate vase those flowers that are still alive. Now roses tend to have a shorter life. So I've got 3 roses. I got a beautiful orchid that is still good, a lily that is just thinking about opening, and Gerbera daisies, carnations, hydrangea, alstroemeria, and stalks. So I'm going to set that aside because those I will still continue to enjoy. Now I had also pulled out, man, you know what? Just excuse me. I'm going to try to lift this camera a bit because everything is a little taller than, Okay, so I pulled out the green. Well, let me just take them out of here. Maybe that'll be easier. So there's salal, eucalyptus, German status, and maybe that's it. From the other bouquet, I don't remember what this stuff is called, but it's sort of like a palm. And I think this is called Irish something or other. So I've got a couple stalks of that, and I've been racking my brains trying to remember what the name of this stuff is, but it's beautiful because it's so fine. And so let me get rid of take all this out of the vase, get rid of the vase, because I've been attempting to keep all this stuff alive for, until I had the chance to do this. I'll take the orchid. Gotta love an orchid. Out of view as well. Okay, now we've got more room to work. So I rewatched Caroline's video, and now I believe I know exactly what to do. Oh, and I also gathered together this pot of rusty elements. Now, when you live on a farm, of course, there is no shortage of rusty stuff. These are my floral shears from 100 years ago. And this is what I'll be using to cut the stems. So what Caroline had done to prepare was gathered up a number of types of paper. So this is a heavier, kind of oversized book page. So I have some of those. Now, I think one thing that I had done wrong the first time that I tried this was that I should wipe up this mess here, this liquid. One thing that I had done wrong the last time was think that I could use copy-weight paper, and that a lot of it tore. I must have thrifted this. I don't know why it has the hole in the corner, but this is like a cardstock. And I thought that a few sheets of that would be good. I also am trying 2 sheets of business card, what you may call it, the business card forms that you can buy at a stationery store. Here's more sort of heavier weight paper, not exactly cardstock. Then I folded up a number of sheets. I think this is the mixed media paper. Strathmore, right here. Strathmore mixed media, 117 pound mixed media paper, vellum surface. So a number of sheets of that. And then I also have Strathmore sketchbook paper. This is bigger, and this is only 60, possibly 70 pounds. So and here is this, a cover off a receipt book that I thrifted. Okay, so what Caroline did was she had her papers folded into folios, and then just began laying stuff down. So let's use a couple leaves of salal, maybe some German status. Now I might have more signatures than I have, plant material to use. So I'm going to close this up. So essentially, I have a rusty, maybe I could use my little rusty square to hold things together until my bundles are all prepared. And I, again, still haven't tried to figure out how, did I lose this already? Haven't figured out how to pause the camera. So Anyway, we'll just proceed, and when it looks like it's too much, I will, and mind you, maybe it would be better if I did this on. Now, presumably there will be some color transfer. Even on, you know, the things that are printed. I don't know how successful I'll be getting some of these guys off, but at this point, what have we got to lose? Now, I showed you that thing with the rusty. I need a better. What should I use for a weight? I have a spool of rusty rebar wire, so maybe I'll use that to hold my stuff together. Okay, so we'll just keep preparing packages. Maybe I'll just, so I get to try all of the different types of paper. Maybe I'll just pull different ones out of the pile and see how it works on the different types of paper I'm attempting. I should automatically have better results because I'm not using lightweight copy paper. Try some book page. So essentially, I could use some rose petals. Now, white is probably not going to. This might be a poor choice for this one. The other thing that Caroline did was she worked in some rusty pieces. So when I gathered up my rusty stuff, so I've got something like that. I've got a washer. A nail. Now that nail head has already made a hole in the paper. So we will see how this goes. Let's do some eucalyptus. Love the smell of this stuff. Let's try some German status. And a couple rose petals. So in it, did you hear the crunching? That's the German status, probably turning into powder. Okay, so now, these leaves are rather big. Let's try more of this. I don't know how artful this arrangement of mine actually is, but maybe if I put this diagonally, I could fit more of it on there. And again, you know, I think the desire to overthink this is pretty overpowering. Let's throw 3 washers on there. So now when you go for a walk, you city kids, you have to keep your eyes on the ground looking for things in parking lots and sidewalks, well, probably mostly parking lots, that are, you know, have been lying there long enough to get rusty. I hope these do turn out well because they're so pretty in real life. Maybe I'll just leave this one quite plain. Let's chop this off. It's sticking beyond. I should have dragged a garbage can closer. Now this baking pan that I have is only 2 inches deep, so I'll get rid of some of these. Mind you, I might be able to use the thinner stems. Okay, have we tried every type of paper? Whoops. Let's do this. Okay. I have a pink rose here somewhere. Now again, these are just barely have a tinge of color at the end, so that's probably not going to do a great deal other than perhaps just leave kind of a shadow effect. Get rid of some of this extra garbage here. Now I also have a bunch of dried up things. Maybe I'll do that and see what happens. I have really no idea if I'm overloading this or underfilling it. I don't know if I did any mixed media paper. That theoretically should have the best results because it's a nice weight. Okay, so the plan, after I get sufficient of these little packets made up, I will be wrapping it. Oh, I have a piece of steel I can put in there. I can use that. Maybe something a little more delicate here as well. After I have as many, like 2 inches worth, I guess, of signature pages ready, I will be wrapping it in this piece of, not even sure where I got this from. Maybe it was an old thrifted like bed sheet or something. So that's what I'll wrap my bun. Oh, damn it. I didn't bring any twine. Ugh. Well, let's leave this one as is. And maybe I'll just show you. Oops. This is what I have so far. So, I mean, obviously it'll get squashed together to make the, to provide some pressure. I wonder if there's something nearby that I can use to tie this up. I could have removed some of these stems. I would have saved a bit of hassle, I guess. Sure wish I could remember what this delicate little thing is called. Look at, aren't those the sweetest little? And they actually in a floral arrangement, they last a good long time too. So that was something that we were always cognizant of when we were buying flowers and making arrangements in our shop, because, you know, then the customer is getting more value for their money. Now, as those other flowers, okay, so there's, what did I say? So I've got a couple Gerber daisies that are still alive. So I'll probably be doing this again relatively, you know, in the next week maybe, as those flowers continue to deteriorate. Oh, this sounds crispy. Let's try this really dried up. Not even sure what this is. I'll use the whole dried up stem. Now it's going to, obviously, when I fold that thing closed and apply pressure, it's going to, well, let's throw one of these in there. But you can see that something like this is, you know, on thin paper, that would make a hole even before you wet the paper, and, you know, tampered with the integrity of the paper itself. Let's try more of these guys. Oh, and a business card thing. Man, I've made a mess here. Okay. Let's do these business card things and see what we have. I, of course, couldn't fold it into a normal signature type thing because of the perforations. So in the comments, I'd appreciate knowing whether or not you have ever tried eco dyeing, and if so, were you happy with your results? What did you learn from it? I meant to, I also forgot to bring my wire cutters and cut smaller, oh, that's not going to be so good. Cut smaller pieces, shorter lengths of wire. I kind of thought that because it was rusted and weak, that I'd just be able to sort of tear it, but, or, you know, bend it back and forth till it disintegrated, but broke is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now we don't have smell vision here, so you don't know that I am also, I have a pot of beets boiling on the stove. Should I just try these guys? That could be kind of good, just really linear. So, what else have I got for stems here? I'll just do one that's all stems. And maybe, how long would we be doing this? 24 minutes. Okay, so maybe I should stop here, because obviously I have more paper and more foliage than will than I can do in one batch in this shallow thing. So this cloth is fairly big, so I'm going to tear it in half. Now, of course, the the fabric itself is going to pick up a lot of, you know, it'll pick up the color and hopefully the rust. I think what I should do, now my bottom sheet, this is driving me a little bit batty, so let me just clean some of this up so I can now the Strathmore paper that I used, it came out of some pads that I bought, you know, I'm sure on sale, because that's how I like to buy stuff, but obviously I have never been lucky enough to find thrifted, you know, good quality paper, artist paper like that. So I'm really hoping that, I'm just trying to condense my mess here a bit. I am just snipping off these stems because I think that might be a nice effect, but it's just a little unwieldy for right now. The German Status has that bluey, purpley color to it. And I know you've seen it in floral arrangements. So I think, I don't know what my YouTube schedule is like, but I think I want to have this, I'm going to schedule this as quickly as possible so that if you have Mother's Day flowers and you're thinking of throwing them out, maybe I can provide you with an alternative. Okay, so that's a wee bit, I have my cord here from my phone, whoops. Okay, slightly better. Okay, so I have just, I don't know where that came from. Now I think what I should do, it'll help hold this down, is maybe add that rusty piece right there. Too bad this isn't more like a, I was going to say like a diaper. Anybody who used cloth diapers would know what I'm talking about. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Now my thread is getting caught on everything. Okay, maybe I should add something more to this. This is an interesting piece too. This is off a, this is a pin that goes into holding, you know, if you're attached, if you hook something up to, I don't know if that's gonna, what that's gonna look like, but anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend this is like a baby. Like a baby. Now, wouldn't this be great if I had some string to tie this all together? So I'm making this. Oh, and another thing that was really clever that Caroline did was when she had her little pouch ready to secure. Let me do this a little differently. My cloth is not exactly the right proportions here. She used a rusty safety pin. So I'm trying to put as much pressure as possible on here. Maybe let's pull this one down. Things are getting caught on my loose strings. Now all the papers, you saw that the papers were not all the same size. So I think I'm just going to, I have to stop here because obviously I need either, well, I probably want some string and a safety pin because I think a pin would leave a nice design. I'll just hold this all together for the time being. So, okay, I'll tell you what I'm doing next. I'm going to secure this as tight as I can make it. I will then submerge it in the liquid and put this pan on the burner and sort of cook it for an hour. And then at that point, I would say we'll do a part 2. Oh, another thing that that Caroline did, maybe I can use some of these other, like I have this door hardware. She also she tied a metal trivet into her bundle to help keep it submerged, because you know, things tend to float. So this will help weigh this down. Okay, so that's the plan. After it has been simmering for an hour, I will come back. I don't know if she left the tea bags in the water or not, but I guess it doesn't hurt because a tea bag could maybe make a design as well. And then began the miraculous reveal, including the rinsing off the, sort of disintegrated plant material. And then, of course, we know that things look differently after they dry. But in the meantime, I'm going to stop and take this to the next level, and then I will be back with a part 2 that will finish the process off. So I hope, well, at this point you haven't seen much other than a mess, but I hope that for both our sakes that the results are so good that it feels like it was definitely worth it to do all this. And I'll also, you know what? I do have some pieces of wire here I could, well, maybe I'll save those for the next bundle. And I'll also prepare a second bundle to just do, I have another pan. I could get a second bundle ready to go as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Bye.